In progress.
Oh, thank you.
It's probably everything.
How are you? Very, very good. Yeah.
So, as an earpiece.
All right. We're a bit late here. We'll get started here on the board meeting. Order, Katie, with everybody listed in attendance. I think the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Katie, here, if our get set. We will look forward to all the needs. Board meeting, June 28th special board meeting, and to file the May 21st, 2025 Park and Rec Board, the June 23rd, 2025 Village or Library Board, the June 20th, 2025 as presented.
Motion to approve and file.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion of the minutes? Seeing none, and hearing none, in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. See that we have one request here to speak to the board. Chief Caponera, I think you're up here and.
Thank you, President Delort, Chief Caponera, Grafton Police Department. Make you know where I work. I appreciate the board's opportunity to give me this opportunity to speak, and I'm gonna speak directly to Jesse. I just want to thank you, Jesse, for all the work that you've done for us as village or department heads throughout the village. Your support, your unwavering dedication to the village, and it's impressive. I can't speak volumes of you enough. And to the village board, I want you to know that you're losing an amazing man right here. As a village administrator, but I'm happy to see him go and prospering at a larger city. But Jesse, thank you so much for everything you've done for us. You and I haven't always seen eye to eye, and quite honestly, I'm surprised you don't have more gray hairs because of me. But I will tell you, everything that you've done, I greatly appreciate. I can stand here and I think and speak on behalf of all the department heads in the village. We certainly appreciate you, Jesse, and thank you so much. Your friendship, your dedication, and your leadership has been very well received here. So thank you so much.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. Jesse, is it just for men or vision? Have a little bit of fun with this. Anybody else wish to speak to the village board this evening on any subject? Okay, we'll move on. A couple of business items here. Number one, I'd like to recommend to the board that we meet Michelle Brishett for planning commission. Carl Harms recently on the last board meeting I have presented an application. I've also interviewed Michelle and was very impressed with her ability to come forward, to look at agendas from the last year and ask very intelligent questions in my meeting with her. I recommend to the village board that we appoint her. I would ask for a motion in a second. A motion in a second. Okay, any discussion, any questions at all? Lisa?
Sure, I have a couple of comments. A few years ago, we talked about the process that we would use going forward for asking citizens if they wanted to be on committees. We talked about the difficulty in finding them and what we could do to try to get more citizen involvement. And I believe that we had decided that we would try to post the need for applications and for people on our village website so that the most qualified people could apply, so that anybody could apply. And I guess my first question is, was the opening posted on the village website?
I don't think we.
The opening's been posted permanently on the site for citizen applications. to the committees.
Oh, sure, but not this specific
Not
position.
specific, but just as a general.
Okay, I'm going to vote no, because I feel the process wasn't followed that we discussed 2 years ago and what we talked about last year. I think that we have a lot of qualified people in our community, but if they don't know there's an opening out there, how do we even get anybody? How did she know there was an opening with an application date of last week? That's my
She
question.
applied. This application. She applied, you're here, that's my, that's the ability to do. If you don't
Sure.
agree with it,
No, I'm not saying, yeah,
If you don't. Person who came forward, I would encourage you to vote for the ordinance.
no, I didn't say I didn't like the person. I said the process wasn't followed in my opinion. That's why I'm voting.
I appreciate your opinion. Any other comment?
Yeah, for various reasons, I will be abstaining from this vote. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I would like to echo Lisa's opinion about not being notified about this. You know, as one of the members of the plan commission, hearing about this last Friday at the earliest was a little jarring, and I would have liked to be able to make sure that people who want to apply for this know that this is an available position.
Very good. All right, any further comment? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Yay.
Abstain.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you very much. One other thing I'd just like to bring to the board for just for the notification. It was contacted by a citizen after last meeting that there might have been some communication going on between a member or two in the audience with the board via texting. And I just want to let people know it's a hard discussion to have, but I did reach out to Mike. And it was notified by a citizen, and I said I would address it with the board. Frankly, just to let everybody know, I can't stop anybody from texting me or any member of the board. That's First Amendment. I get that. Fully understand it, and I appreciate it, and I will defend that. With that said, I did want to make sure everybody's aware that it certainly is, as I've been told by Mike, it could be part of an open records request, and just want to caution people on that. And I also don't want to have people have their cell phones go in a caddy so that we do that, or their watches. I would caution the village trustees that put your phones aside and don't answer any texts. Don't know if it was or wasn't. I'm just filling in everybody with what's going on. Mike, do you have a comment on that at all?
Yeah, I think that's a fair summary. Recommended again, never text with each other up on the days during the meeting. Obviously, all discussion is out in the open unless we're in a closed session. If it's a text from the audience, as your president indicated, you can't control that. And if it's a Packer score update or something on a Monday night, it's probably relatively benign, but still best practice is all the communication is out in the open. And it definitely.
Thank you. All right, that's all I have from business as presented by the president. Let's go to resolution honoring the 50th anniversary of Grafton Area Chamber of Commerce. This is going to be presented on Thursday night. I'm not going to read this evening because we'll present this on Thursday night at Gala. But I think everybody had a chance to look through the resolution here. I'd look for a village board action to give me the authority to issue this to the Grafton Chamber of Commerce with an offer of motion in a second.
I'll make.
I'll offer.
I'll second.
Okay, we have offer of motion in a second. And again, it's pretty straightforward here. We'll be, giving this to the chamber on Thursday night at Gala. Okay, we have offer of motion in a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion carries. We'll go to the resolution approving the elimination of PF, the public fire protection municipal charge and recovering all public fire protection costs to direct customer charges. Jesse?
Yeah, following up on the village board's direction, based on the Ozaki Central Fire Department request. Just by quick way of historical background, currently, the Public Service Commission tariff or that hydrant rental fee or the public fire protection charge, whichever title you wish to assign to this, is currently paid by a combination of utility bill revenues and payments from the fire department. Approximately 75% utility bill funded, 25% funded via the fire department, amounting in the neighborhood of $216,000 per year. The village board's direction, based upon the fire department's request, was to look into, is it possible to move that entire fee over to the utility bills? Currently, 75% of it is covered by utility bills, looking to have it 100% covered by the utility bills. That is in fact an option. That being said, just trying to be proactive and bring forward a resolution for the village board to adopt that can be attached to an application form and submitted to the Public Service Commission as soon as possible. And why I phrase it as soon as possible is the village has just completed a regular water rate case study. There is a state mandated waiting period per se prior to sending in or submitting another revision or amendment to your water rates, because this is technically considered a water rate because it deals with water flow through the hydrants. With that, there is that waiting period, and instead of waiting until the next available agenda after the application window opens up, proactively in front of the board this evening with a resolution that, if adopted, would be attached to the application and submitted on day one of that application window opening with the Public Service Commission at the state level. It's important, I feel, to do this because according to the PSC's website, looking at potentially a 12 to 14 week review period, we are optimistic that the review time would be shorter since all of our data is already with the Public Service Commission following this regular water rate adjustment that we completed. So we're hoping for a much shorter time frame. Regardless, I think it's in our best interest on behalf of not only the village, but also the fire department to have that application ready to go on day one as soon as that window opens. Therefore, working with our consultants, Trilogy, who helped us with the water rate case to begin with, they have prepared the resolution verbiage, which is attached. Should the resolution be adopted, it'll be prepared for signature and, as I mentioned, attached to the application form, which we're working with Trilogy on to complete in accord with PSC standards and submit right away. So the action requested is approval of the resolution and authorization for staff to submit an application to the Public Service Commission.
Bring to the table for discussion. I'll look for an offer, a motion in a second to resolve for approving elimination of PFP, Public Fire Protection Municipal Charge, and recovery of all public fire protection costs to direct company charge.
I'll make the offer.
I'll motion.
Offer, motion in second, discussion. Lisa.
Question. So on the very last sentence of this, it does say upon review and approval from the PSC that this could be effective then, if it's approved.
January 1. It's just condition, it would be effective January 1, with the condition that it is reviewed and approved by the Public Service Commission. We have to have that Public Service Commission approval before it can be implemented. So on January 1, this would go into effect if the Public Service Commission approves it.
Right, okay. My question was, I didn't know if we could put it into effect earlier, thus saving the fire department that last quarter.
No, correct.
Thank you.
Call for motion. Second. And opposed? Carried. Jessica, let's talk about the resolution approving the updated Woodstock Grafton urban area function classification.
So last year, the village worked with DOT to adopt a new urban area map. And this is a map for Grafton, Cedarburg, and Port Washington. Now, the Wisconsin Department of Transportation is requesting that the village and the other communities on the map approve changes to the functional classification map. This is due to the changes to the urban area, changes to land use and daily traffic, total mileage, and the percentage of road within each of those functional classification groups. So even though there are no changes in the actual Grafton area or immediately surrounding our village, DOT is still asking that we approve it just like the other communities.
Very good. I'll bring that to the table. Discuss the motion. So. Pardon? Motion to approve resolution for the updated Wisconsin DOT Grafton urban area classification map is presented.
Second.
Very good. All right. Yes, I apologize. That was a resolution, so I missed that one. So we offer a motion and second and discussion.
Read in there that, and for us to, adopt these with Woodstock, that it does affect what kind of, state and federal funding we get for transportation. Do you know if that, like, what that would look like for our numbers?
This will not have an impact because the classifications are changing now. If it were to change and fall into a category where the state provides additional maintenance funding, because we take care of a state trunk highway or a portion thereof, that may impact our state shared revenue or highway transportation aids. In this particular case, there won't be any impact to us because there are no changes to the classifications.
Thank you.
Further questions, comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Jessica, let's go to the second lease and then to the lease between the village of Grafton and Grafton Little League.
Yes. So earlier this year, Grafton Lions Club was approved or received all their approvals for a community garden at the village's land at Lakefield and Cheyenne. All of that has been completed. And at the recommendation of the village attorney, our next step would be to update the lease agreement with our current tenant there, Grafton Little League, to reflect the use of this village property by both parties. The amendment was prepared by Attorney Herbrand and forwarded to the Grafton Little League for their approval. Key changes include identifying and excluding the use of the community garden space by the Little League, so that basically each user can use their respective spaces, no cross-pollination there. There was also an addition regarding water and sewer connection. So currently there's no water and sewer connection at the property. And Grafton Little League did get a well on site to assist with irrigation, rather than having to have it pumped in. So the agreement states that they can continue, if at such time the village does get water and sewer to the site, they can continue using their well for irrigation, but must use village utilities for, potable water, restrooms, those sorts of things. Those are the only two changes. And the document has been presented to Grafton Little League and approved as amended.
Thank you very much, Jessica. This should bring everything into line with both the Little League and the Grafton Lions.
If I may place one more statement with that, Public Works is ready and scheduled. If this lease amendment is approved this evening, they are ready to go with regards to prepping the area for the community garden, whereby they can move in, establish the raised beds. We have that ready and set to go once the paperwork gets caught up with what we need to be.
Great. Yes, and as soon as it's represented. I'll look for a motion and a second to bring this to the table for discussion, to approve the second amendment to the Grafton Little League lease as presented.
Make a motion.
Motion, second. Discussion.
I just had one question. So if this passes tonight and they will have authorization, both the Grafton Little League and the Lions Club. And the Lions Club will be able to have access to that area immediately.
Yes, really, we just. Intent is to get the site prep this week yet, and as soon as that is ready to go, yep, absolutely.
And they basically answer to the village, right? The Lions is village property technically, and the Lions, if there's problems, they'll come to the village, they won't talk to the.
Actually, it works both ways. Our scale issue, it's a pretty leaseholds that thou shalt communicate with one another, coordinate their events. And I know I spoke to the example of Grafton Little League's midsummer celebration, or kind of their all-star break, so to speak, where they have all of the families, softball, t-ball, baseball on site, and really celebrate Grafton Little League for what it is and what it does. That there would be no room there to do any community garden that day. It will really take some communication and logistical preparation between the two entities that frankly, the village should not be in the middle of unless there is a large scale problem. So it is required of both entities to communicate with one another.
Any further questions? Okay. Motion and second.
That's the motion.
Trustee Weston. Okay, now we have motion and second cleaned up. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Jessica, let's talk about resolution for Shady Hollow subdivision phase 7.
Yes, this is phase 7 with 33 lots. There was some discussion at Plan Commission and with the applicant prior to the meeting so that we could sort out an outlot issue. There was a rather large outlot up on the northern portion of this phase. And it seemed like it could present maybe some issues in the future. So staff did work with the applicant and they actually added 2 new lots on the north side out of this outlot portion. And then the remainder of the outlot, they'll be combining with a lot in a previous phase. So we can just clean all of that up. The Plan Commission is recommending approval with our standard conditions.
Thank you very much. We'll look for second to for Shady Hollow subdivision phase 7 conditions to be approved.
The motion. I'll second.
Second discussion. Andy.
Director Wolf, just a short question about that. I see on the northwest side that they, like you said, that outlot has been modified down to the small part. And I know from going to the planning commission meeting that that's going to be combined with lot 106. Because 106 is in a previous phase and that outlot is in this phase. Is there any other administrative thing that the village board or the planning commission has to do, or is that just a straightforward action on?
It will actually be quitclaimed to lot 106. So that's a county register of deeds action. I actually will not need to be involved in it. The village's position of Director of Public Works has been vacant since late April. The posting is active, but unfortunately, we have not gotten any qualified candidates for the position. Also, our assistant village engineer has submitted his resignation and his last day is Wednesday. So obviously, our Department of Public Works staff is very capable, but at this point, they need some help. So staff is recommending or requesting approval from village board to enter into a contract with a consultant firm to act as to be the acting village engineer. So staff contacted 4 firms with a request for proposal. 3 of the firms chose not to submit proposals due to lack of capacity from their staff. So the village, although did get 1 proposal from Bolton and Mink. And staff is recommending them based on their expertise, available capacity, familiarity with the community, and reasonable cost. Kevin Kimmis with Bolton and Make is here and available to answer any questions. Obviously the term of this contract is unknown at this time, but I'm suggesting that it would be until such time as a director would be hired, a permanent director would be approved by village board. That's all I have.
Very good. Okay, for a motion, second, to bring us to the table for discussion to approve contract with Bolton Bank for acting village engineer services at rates and terms outlined in the July 30th, 2025 attached proposal until permanent director of public works, village engineer is approved by the village board. A motion and second. Questions on this?
Well, question, so the job was posted on the village website, LinkedIn, anywhere else?
Okay, yes, we utilize the League of Wisconsin Municipalities, the American Civil Engineers Association, and several other outlets that escape me at this point, but we did the League of Wisconsin Municipalities, we did look to cast as broad a net as we possibly could with both state level and national level associations.
So. Things about this, frustrating for me as a trustee and first and foremost, I think if we are going to do the due diligence of hiring a civil engineer for a community, we should do it the same way that we're going about the process and the protocol that it takes to hire a village administrator as well. I was not on the board at the time when our civil engineer Amber Thomas stepped down. So that's neither here nor there. Unfortunately though, problems like this, it takes weeks and months to get to a problem this deep from a village level. So this is concerning to see that we are now bringing in a third party and charging a bunch of money to have them run our wastewater treatment plant. When
They are not running the wastewater treatment plant, just to be clear. This is the acting village engineer in the Public Works Department.
Okay, so the acting, thank you for clarification. So the acting civil engineer, which was down to the Public Works Department. With that said, I hope that the current board can take this as a lesson that we need to continue doing the right protocol with hiring anybody in the village, whether it is the administrator, a civil engineer, whomever it may be. Because otherwise, if we don't, things fall through the cracks. And now here we are trying to hire a third party company to be our civil engineer. So with that said, thank goodness for Kevin Kimms and his team. I appreciate you. I applaud you for throwing it bid for this RFP. And I will be looking forward to voting in Bolton and Mink. So thank you very much for your upcoming service as a civil engineer to our community. However, please understand that this should be seen as a big warning that this kind of action or inadequacy of handling our community needs to come to an end because we're wasting a lot of money on this third-party consolidation places. Thank you.
Lisa?
I just have a question, maybe clarification, basically. So, talking about the fees. And it says $100 discount per hour for up to 80 hours of general engineering service work a month. Is that 80 hours a month, 20 hours a week, times 4 weeks is 80. Does that mean every month we get up to 80 hours per month at $100 discount? Or does it mean we just get 1 month at a discount, $100 less?
Roughly what you guys are trying. I tried to get it where I'm work every single week with close to what you're paying, so that you wouldn't actually get it, send what's like balanced budgets. So absolutely 80 hours a week at that discounted rate, or 80 hours a month, thank you. I set for up to 3 months, and then I'm going to revisit it at that time, have as a condition in that. Not saying we definitely would take it away. I also want to know if I'm doing private development work or doing project specific work, that stuff it would be at the rate. I have a feeling a lot of the work is going to be in these developments, these charged too. So I'm trying to make sure I'm staying within your budgets, not making this be a painful thing. And I think actually this is very similar to what happened before Amber was here. Amber, who the person that stepped in. So, in that same line.
And are you also providing basic inspection services also on the ground at the job site?
So, yeah, absolutely. So the village currently contracts with other engineering firms for that service, and we would expect to have that continuity there and continue with the other firms. And Bolton and Mank would step in for new projects.
Okay, so we still have somebody under.
Yes.
We do, and it's important to remember too, the vast majority of those that are built or passed through to the developer is our village projects, the inspections where we have outside, that's on our dime. So I think it's important to make sure everybody understands that it's not all on the village. It is separated out depending on what type of inspection it is and what it's for.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your goal. I think I want to see if other people have here, your first one.
Jessica, and thanks Kevin for the explanation, because that was kind of my question too. I thought we had a process like this prior to Amber, searching for Amber. I mean, in your professional opinion, this is a normal process. We have not found the qualified person yet. So this would be something that we would do, is to reach out and.
It's unfortunate. I think we could have perhaps, gotten through a couple more months if the assistant village engineer obviously was still in place. But it's not unusual, but it's unfortunate.
Okay, yeah, I think that we focus on this contract. This contract, we can spend a great deal of time discussing why we have turnover in both of these positions. However, I don't think at this point in time, I think we want to really focus on the contract, and if there's any questions on the contract. Sarah, do you have anything to add?
Contract is, just to clarify, you were just filling in for this position, you were not, this contract does not include you helping us find a qualified candidate. Thank you for the clarification, Mr. Henson.
And also, from PAA, they will be addressing both of these issues in the next agenda meeting. So, any further questions here?
Will there be another opportunity to speak about how we got to this point?
I think I would love to have that discussion.
I can speak to what we've done to date as far as staff's efforts. Staff's efforts have been to look to fill the position as sits with its current job description, as I believe, and in talking with the outgoing village engineer, as well as other impacted staff, that having a PE here in Grafton is important to us. We're a growing community. Having our own PE professional engineer that could sign off on plans is absolutely an asset. We could potentially get to the point of designing projects here in-house. That being said, we went after it. The job market is very competitive. Hence, we lost the PE to the private sector. We did everything we have possible and available to us with regards to the job description, the approved salary grade. And we continuously talked about this at a staff level. What can we do? What can we advertise? How do we get creative with this? We updated the advertising to emphasize things like this doesn't require travel. Many engineers in the private sector have to travel for the jobs, which takes away from family time. We wanted to emphasize that hey, we have an opportunity here for you. A lot of stuff going on. You'll be active. You can exercise all of your PE capabilities here within the village, and you don't have to travel. In essence, it's a 9-to-5 job, which it isn't, but compared to some of the travel some of these folks have to do. We expanded the scope of how and where we placed our advertisements. We met several times at a staff level to discuss the importance of having a PE on staff. We talked about, do we roll back and simply say, maybe it's preferred and not required? Do we just waive that requirement altogether and try to get just an engineer in here that doesn't hold that licensure? The consensus continuously was at a staff level, no, let's keep pushing. Let's try to get that professional engineer here in-house. That being said, we made a ton of effort. We have worked very hard against very challenging market conditions. Within the confines of what we're able to do by adopted policies and procedures. That being said, we are at a point where, we need help, and staff isn't too proud to ask for that. Hence, we're in front of the village board this evening, asking to bring in that third party to help us out through this transition period with the goal of refilling that position and moving forward.
I'll add to that, I happen to have a son. And I can honestly say that the PE market is super competitive. To the point where there was a locality here in Wisconsin that needed a professional engineer as their director of public works. And they hired somebody who, A, isn't a PE, B, hasn't even completed their training. They're in third year of their bachelor's program to run their Department of Public Works. I don't think that does us any good to look to settle for anybody who would be out there that would just come here. I think, Kevin, you come with a great deal of experience. You work very closely with the town of Grafton and come very highly recommended. And I think at this point in time, we've done what we can to get somebody on board, and now we're ready to pay for some help, are we not? Yes. So we have motion and second. Any other discussion here? All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. All right. Now we are on to the review of contract for acting village engineer, village administrator and director of public works, village engineer recruitment service contract. First of all, I'd like to apologize to both of our RFP presenters. We have a little miscommunication on staff. This always has to be presented in open session, and I'm really sorry that that didn't make the initial agenda. That was an oversight, and having that agenda be printed at late on Friday afternoon didn't give us the opportunity to correct it. So my apologies to you. You did get all of your information out to the board under closed session for your RFPs. Plus the RFPs were sent out 2 weeks ago, I believe 2 weeks ago after the initial been down. So with that said, we'd like to have you kind of keep it 10 to 12 minutes so somebody doesn't go over and say, I was treated unfair, I was treated fair. And what we'll do is we'll go here with MGT, we'll go by alphabet here. So Lee, you got MGT. I mean, I suppose you could have gone USA Jobs, but since it's MGT, why don't you come up here and you can take us through your.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Lee Shiborski, representing MGT, and let's see, watch my time here. So are you going to steer for me? That's good. Appreciate that. And again, I appreciate the chance to talk with you about recruitment services for both your village administrator and your director of public works. And just give you a real brief background about MGT. Which is based in Tampa, Florida. However, our company, GovHR USA, joined MGT about 1.5 years ago. So yeah, we've got offices here in Wisconsin, in Illinois, and then we've got consultants around the country. But in the last 1.5 years, MGT, you may know them, MGT. Work in several different areas, both state government, our specialty is local government, they also do school districts. I think probably what you've heard about us most recently in the news is that our company was brought in to study Monty Public School System. And so, that's our group that works on the school district side of it. And then, of course, we're local government here. Okay. Skip ahead one more, Jessica, please. That's our propaganda of all the different services that our company offers. And I'm gonna ask you to skip a couple more ahead. Get to the heart of it. One more. There we go. What I do want to talk with you more specifically tonight is our process for recruitment services. But just to let you know, here's the team that would be assigned to this engagement. Myself, my colleague, Ashley Eccles, who's on vacation this week, who actually would be here. We would be your primary contacts here. And then we've got a support team that does a lot of work behind the scenes here. What we can tap into is number of recruiters that, work for MGT, to make sure that we cast as broad of a net as possible. The work that we've done, throughout the country, and I think also helps enhance our work, because while we'll certainly look to plumb the Wisconsin and the Midwest market, you never know when you find a candidate that's wanting to come back home, and that may be in another part of the country, right? And those are the networks that we are part of what we bring to the table, not only with the wide network of recruiters we have, but all those contacts and those networks that bring what we believe is rich work to our recruitment. We've done a number of recruitments here, of course, in Wisconsin, and that's just a small list. Most recently for me, I've worked for the cities of Oshkosh, Lake Geneva, Shorewood, Plymouth, Beaver Dam, and West Bend. So, and then for myself, my background that I bring to the table here is I've got over 30 years of local government experience, 11 years then with MGT, formerly GovHR, and I've been doing recruiting for years or so. So if you add up all those numbers, I started my work when I was in kindergarten. So to the heart of our methodology is pointed out in the proposal here. We come in the organization to understand specifically, what's going to be important for all of you, what's going to be for a good fit for both the positions. We'll do a quick assessment by talking with all of you and other stakeholders that you would recommend that we reach out to understand your community, understand the organization, and of course, understand what's going to be important, what are going to be the important projects and initiatives and items that you will look for those positions to address, both in the short term and in the long term. And then within the context of all of that, we look to understand what are going to be important experiences, background, and attributes that you will want to see from your candidates. We do that discernment upfront, talking with all of you. If there's other stakeholders you want us to meet with. So, for example, for village administrator position, I'll be talking with me and my colleague Ashley. We'll be talking with you, village staff. Perhaps you'd like us to reach out to some community stakeholders, such as your chamber of commerce, which I know is very active. We develop all the materials, and then we get to the meat of things, which is our candidate outreach. That we usually set aside 4 to 5 weeks to do that. We use both most current technological means of getting the word out, advertising, of course. But the main work of is knocking on doors, getting on the phone, reaching out to folks, and personally asking folks, "Hey, have you heard about the opportunity to build your brand? We think that let's take a look at it." So it is that tapping people on the shoulder. Our discernment then, once we close that outreach period, I think is a significant part of our work, by which we'll not only look to see how candidates' backgrounds and experience match what you've told us in the beginning, but we'll spend time. And so, for example, I'll spend about an hour interviewing, doing a screening interview with each candidate before I would even do the phone to your attention. That helps us understand, and then consequently you understand what's really behind the resume and experience that they claim to have. Our background work, also includes some initial references. We do a media and social media search. So if somebody's carrying some baggage, we'll want to know, we'll want to assess how heavy is that baggage and whether or not the candidate is viable or so. So that's included with, all our due diligence. And as I mentioned, some of the team that works with us to do that, that's their work. We handle things from then on out. We'll present a portfolio of candidates for you to consider. You make a decision on who you would like to invite for the interview, and we'll customize the process by which you would interview. So for your village administrator position, you may want to include department heads as part of the process of the interview. You may want to also have a community meeting, so we'll help facilitate that. That's of interest to you. And then, we'll take that all down to, working as your agent in which to come to an agreement on an employment. A process takes, anywhere from 12 to 16 weeks. And then to add to all of this, of course, is that we give one more.
More, again?
Sorry. What we've added at the request of the village, was then also additional recruitment services for your director of public works. In this instance, we're recommending a limited scope. It's a bit of a money saver, but the difference here, in addition to what I had previously explained, is that once we present candidates for all of you to consider, and you make a decision on who you would like to invite to interview, then we hand over the process to you. We think that would be appropriate for your public works director position, as opposed to the village administrator, where we think it warrants a much more robust approach. One more ahead, please. We'll skip ahead. And we've included in the packet, the cost of the recruitment for village administrator as well as public works director. I'm trying to watch my time. I'm gonna stop there and see if there's any questions I need.
What is the time frame of the outreach portion?
We usually set aside 4 to 5 weeks for outreach.
Questions? Once you hand us a portfolio of candidates, what is your success rate of us finding one in that group of people?
I would say 99% that when we deliver a portfolio, you will find somebody in there.
So I mean, so when you're
Not only that you'll interview, but that you'll hire. Yeah.
Just a reminder to speak into your microphone, please.
Any other questions? Okay, very good. Thank you, Lee. What we're going to be doing here is, of course, Mike has told us that decisions will be made in public. The actual closed session will be just to kind of see which direction the village board wants to go, and then we'll come out and make that decision after the closed session.
I appreciate it. Time and we'd love to have your business.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right.
We're on time. Thank you. Come on up.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having us here tonight. My name is Sue McDade. I'm with Public Administration Associates. I'm so happy to be here talking about these 2 very exciting projects for your community. Public Administration Associates is a firm that has been working in the state of Wisconsin since 1998, 27 years of service to months. And we are very happy to be here tonight, and potentially to be your partner in the future. Our firm, provides a wide variety of services. As you can see on the screen, executive search, interim management, organizational studies and audits, class comp studies. We are expanding more into finance and public safety work, and also municipal strategic planning. But the bread and butter of our firm has always been recruitment. Of course, mainly for administrators, but also for department heads throughout the breadth of organization. Our team there are four,
Sorry.
quite there yet. 4 partners on our team and approximately 20 associates. Started to do some math earlier today, and I combined 400 plus years of public management services. Actually, I think low, it's because I know how long I've been doing this role. But all of our partners come from public administration, whether that's administration or departments throughout. So we bring a broad understanding, many years of experience to this role. I'd like to say we're experienced, but we are all, many of our partners are recently retired, but still have passion for government and doing this work because we really want to give back to our profession. Over the past 27 years, PAA has really been a leader in this field, always working to find ways to be ahead of the curve. 25 years ago, our founders instituted the video interviews that many of our candidates submit, and they actually mailed them in on VHS tapes. So we've come a long way, that's for sure. About 7 years ago, we began producing video position announcements, where typically the village president, someone from your community does a video that encourages people to apply. And we find that that is a really personal touch for people that are out there, get to see the people that you're working with and are really encouraged to become a part of your team. And then most recently, over the last year, we have, while we follow all of the regular processes for recruiting and finding candidates, we also are now using AI and a tool where we can mine more candidates nationwide to help fill this role. So we're really stepping out of our regular comfort zones and doing the best that we can to bring the most number of candidates to your community. So we have completed nearly 500 chief administration officer recruitments in the last 27 years. We have 200 Wisconsin municipal clients and nearly 60 to 7. Currently, this year, we have between 60 and 70 different communities. Nearly 60% of our municipal search clients are repeat customers. So people come back to us time and time again, appreciate the services we offer. We do offer a guarantee for our services. So you asked earlier about what happens. Are we going to find you? We have a guarantee that comes along with both of the searches that we have in front of you, that we'll find you a candidate. And if that candidate leaves within a year, we will be back to help you get them at no cost to you. We have had that guarantee in the works for 27 years, and we have a 99% success rate with that. So very seldom do we have to come back and redo a search. Continuous improvement in our search process. No, you're good. So our process, it's a 12-step process, but in the recruitment piece, we are definitely going to start with you. We are going to learn as much as we can about your community, about what your goals are, what your needs are. We're going to reach out to village board members, to department heads, to staff members, to community members, anyone that you tell us that is important to be a part of that conversation. We want to start by getting piece of what we are searching for to the table. The video position announcement, and then that ambitious posting approach, 50+ online job boards, and a lot of personal phone calls, a lot of reaching out to people that we have worked with in the past and asking them to come and join your team here. We have more than 1,000 potential candidates in our database for previous searches that we have done, reaching out to many. When we get to that candidate screening piece of the process, we will present to you a mini resume review so you can see the detailed information about each of your candidates on a similar format. We will ask you to help us refine that group down to a smaller list of candidates you would like to learn more about. Our process includes asking each of those candidates to prepare a short video, questions that you help us identify, short 6-minute videos that will come back to the village board where you have the opportunity to reach a wide number of candidates in a short amount of time. We also will do detailed background reports on all of those candidates that are a part of that video interview. And those detailed background reports are not emailing out questionnaires where you say, yes, no, they were good, they were great. We actually are on the phone with all of those references, spend many hours talking about each of your candidates. Once we have reviewed that first set of candidates, we will be back again with a smaller group of candidates, somewhere in the range of 3 to 5, that we will bring to you for what we like to call an assessment center. Typically, department heads, usually 1 day, administrators, typically 2. And there's a wide range of activities that each candidate participate in that we feel gives you a really broad range of information to review candidates and pick the one that is best for your community. Those things could include community tour, community meet and greet, if you believe that that's important for your community, in-basket writing exercises, staff conversations. We do believe that it is important to bring your staff in on both of these roles. They will be working with these new people, and it's very important to hear what they have to say, their thoughts about the candidates, and then, of course, a formal interview with the village board. Once you have selected a final candidate, we will be right here, hand in hand with you, to help negotiate an employment agreement and get to that final yes, so those candidates can come to work. Serving the village of Grafton on this project, there will be 4 of us. So Kevin Brunner is the president of PAA, myself, Sean Murphy, secretary treasurer of our organization, and Bruce Stelzner is an associate who has a strong background in works and engineering, and so he will definitely be our expert in that field. PAA was created as a way to give back to the profession, provide affordable services to local governments. And for us, it's really more than a business, it's a calling. We enjoy this work. We enjoy getting to know your community. We really enjoy the opportunity to bring great candidates to you. Any questions?
I'll start out here. Amy?
Thank you for your presentation. I noticed that not included in your lump sum was any of the aptitude or psychological tests. I would think that's a pretty common thing at this level. We narrow it down to 2 or 3 candidates. Can you give us a rough estimate of what that cost would be added into?
I sure can. So the test that we use most frequently is an emotional quotient test, an EQ test. Currently the charge is $50 per candidate that completes that test. So probably $200.
Other questions?
Same question. What is the time frame of your outreach process?
So the actual application process, we typically, it's about a month, so about the same.
Any other questions? So thank you very much.
Thank you.
That
Look forward to potentially working with you. Appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. All right, Jesse, on to village administrator's report.
Yes, in lieu of my general updates to the village, I'd like to, hopefully, folks can indulge me for just a minute here. This is my last board meeting with Grafton. Appreciate the time I've been here. I came on board, in the summer of 2016, July 2016 to be specific about it. Since that time, the village has seen a population growth of 12%. Since that time, over $75.7 million of property tax levy has been entrusted to myself and staff by the village board on behalf of the taxpayers. By way of, and with that, Grafton's overall fund balance has grown by 24%. That speaks volumes of staff's management and in following with the board's policies and budgetary priorities that are set. By way of example, or context rather, the 2016 village tax rate, and the village rate, not the overall tax rate, the village's rate, was $7.30 per $1,000 evaluation. The 2025 adopted tax rate, including the OCFD referendum, $7.04 per $1,000 evaluation. What does that speak to? What does that mean? What that means is this village has grown responsibly in building its overall valuation. That means this village has been very responsible overall with the tact that has been taken with regards to setting a budget and thus necessitating tax levy collections. It shows compliance with state laws, with local policies, etc. And to speak to that responsible growth, since 2016, our village has grown to an overall valuation, equalized valuation of over $1 billion with a B. That's pretty impressive with regards to staff carrying out the policies being set and guiding the growth of this village through Architectural Review, Plan Commission, and ultimately board, as well as Community Development Authority action. We've accomplished resurfacing or rebuilding 29% of the village's streets by lane mileage since 2016. We've added new parkland and new recreational amenities, play structures, a splash pad, pickleball courts. We're big time now. We've got pickleball courts. Our year-round pavilion at Vets Park. We've implemented technology to better serve the community, whether it's the building permit portal, the citizen request hub, the online park programming or rental options, looking to be more efficient with taxpayer dollars and be more accessible 24/7, 365. Folks can get and request services. We've established public and private partnerships throughout the community to achieve goals, to better Grafton as a whole, to move us forward. We look at things like the All My Friends Playground, the Veterans Park Pavilion, with corporate sponsorships, nonprofit group partnerships with the Grafton Park Society leading to some new play sets. We've got continued improvements in a wide array of community events through our partners at Celebrate Grafton and the Chamber of Commerce. Significant accomplishments like this and changes, frankly, start at the staff level, and they're rooted in their ongoing commitment and work ethic that is what goes into making Grafton what it is now and what it will be into the future. It is that consistent hard work and dedication by staff, which actually makes me think of a famous speech by Teddy Roosevelt, The Man in the Arena, where he specifically called out, it is not the critic who counts, not the person who points out where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the people who are actually in the arena, who strive valiantly, who err, and frankly, sometimes come up short, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. Throughout my time as administrator here, I've been very upfront. Staff is not perfect, but staff is here, and we turn out every day to do our very best on behalf of the community as well as you, the elected officials. And that portion of that speech by Teddy Roosevelt, quite frankly, exemplifies your village team. Staff shows up day to day, in and out, to do their best on behalf of the village and continue to not only move the organization, but the community forward. I'm hopeful someday that will be fully recognized on behalf of staff. Regardless, all of this being said, I truly appreciate the opportunity that I've had to lead this amazing organization, this group of people, be a part of the village of Grafton and the overall community. Grafton is a great place now, and clearly great things are ahead. I look forward to reading about it in the paper. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I appreciate everything you folks have done at the dais, you folks have done in the community, and quite frankly, most of all, staff. Your support has made my job what it is, and it is taking this village places, and staff should be very proud of that. Thank you.
Hi.
Oh,
We couldn't let it go without having the street sign that you started. So we have Hyde's Terrace to put up in your garage, out in your mailbox, so we know where you live. And we certainly appreciate it. And there's some great signatures on the back, and want to thank you for your 9 years plus, and really appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, my next business item is licenses. Look for a motion in a second to approve the licenses that were approved through the chief of police.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second. Motion in second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. We'll go to the report of bills. I did see a couple of questions come up. We're looking for a motion and a second to approve village expenditures in the amount of $670,174.44. Motion and second, please. Motion and second. Any further questions? Seeing none and hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. We are going to go into convene into closed session. One notable update that we're going to have, I'd ask Katie to be present at all, Katie or the clerk's office, be present at all closed sessions, so we can let our attorney do the attorneying work and let our clerk do the clerking work. We trust her with our elections and keeping our elections working very well. We trust her to work in closed session. With that in mind, I'd like to convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.851C and E, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation of any public employee over which governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, and for competitive bargaining matters, village administrator position, and recruitment services contract. I'll look for a motion and second.
We'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion second. Start down here.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we're in closed session. We're thinking 10 or 15 minutes. We will reconvene here with the announcement.
President Thor, I observed that, while we are recording the meeting, it does have, Zoom does have a pause function. So I can pause it and then the village clerk can resume recording after closed session is done.
Very good, thank you. Just that you're this meeting. Just be, I think, assuming that you're administrator, your board has decided that PAA services the public works director as well as the assistant administrator pursuant to the contract that was proposed to us and within the price that was quoted to us. So I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
A motion second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that motion carried. You're looking for a motion to adjourn. Motion and second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?